The Day the Earth Hatched, Part 2. It was a couple of weeks after the day the Earth hatched. The camp had improved. They had some hut-like dwellings made from sticks, leaves, grass and mud, with sort of beds made from grass and the skins of animals they'd managed to hunt over the last few days with stones and crude spears made from sharpened sticks. None of them were that good at hunting yet, but they were getting better. They even had a garden with irrigation, and were in the process of building a small stick fence. The flowers on the fruit trees had been pollinated quickly. They already had some of the fruit that was still growing fast at the moment. They also had a brief look around some of the other hills nearby, as well as the main hill next to their camp, which seemed to almost be more of a mountain. Then came the call from the lookout that posted further up the main hill, almost a small mountain now, warning them that what they'd been waiting 2 weeks for was approaching. Another group of human beings. Rob had been just about to go on a short hunting and look around trip, so instead he and his fellow hunter went out to greet the other group and lead them back to the camp, assuming they were friendly. The other group was friendly and just a little smaller than their own. When they got back to the camp, they found out who they were and where they were from. It seemed that the other group had started much like theirs, but had landed among lower hills, further away from the small mountain that already loomed over the camp, and nearer to an even lower land. Then, a little over a week ago, they had met up with and joined a much larger group of people from the lowlands. And they'd come here, further into the high hills, as a scouting party for what was now their main group, hoping to find other groups of people and invite them to join the main group. It was decided after much discussion that most of their group would go down to join this large group, while a few of them would stay here and keep this camp as an outpost. They were asked to bring with them what vehicles, which they hadn't used much recently since the broadcast, what vehicles they could, and it turned out to be mainly just the motorbikes and a few of the four-wheel drives that could handle the hills. Someone would come back for the others later, perhaps with better equipment to carry them or guide them. Rob left with the others, but planned to be on the first relief for those keeping the outpost. When they got there, after hiking for most of the day, he saw that the lowlands were indeed big, and that this main group were building a whole city, and were making good progress too. They already had many mud brick buildings, and some wood buildings completed, and many more in progress. They were taken to the administration building, where they had to give their name and age. They were told that there were also several other cities in the making in these lowlands that this city had communicated with via exploration parties and messengers, sometimes on horseback. They could use cars as well, but didn't want to waste petrol until they at least found a new oil field. While they were building their cities, they were also starting to make new roads between the cities. Over the next couple of weeks, Rob spent some time helping with the building, working on the farms and learning horse riding and archery. He'd decided not to work on his own house until he came back from his 1 month at the outpost. So meanwhile, he stayed in the men's dormitory on a farm. That was part 2 of The Day the Earth Hatched from Unfinished Worlds, which is available as an ebook on the Kobo store. Thank you for listening.